Alright guys, Zachman18 here. Welcome back to the WTZM TV Channel 18 Superstation. It is time for Let's Play number 59 on my Zachman18 channel. And we are going to be ready to get started with Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney Investigations on the Nintendo DS. The most recent Ace Attorney that is out right now. But of course we've got Dual Destinies coming in a little more than a month now. Sometime in October from what I've heard. So I'm looking forward to that. But we've still got one more Ace Attorney game to complete, and that is this one. And we played a demo of this game on the weekend celebration. It was actually pretty cool. We learned about there was that logic thing. I watched it yesterday, and it was the new logic features and stuff. So it was really cool. So I'm really excited to play this for you guys. So let's go ahead and jump into new game. Pick our episode here. All right, episode 1, Turnabout Visitor. Here we go. Oh, I'm so psyched. March 14th, 1:16 a.m. in a questionable place. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. Seems like there's going to be more animation in this one, too, so that's good. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. So yeah, this is in Miles' office. So this is actually the first case from the demo that we played. It was about 15 minutes long. So this guy is the guy we're going after. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. Alright. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. Health Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. The door is unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? What's this smell? It's very familiar. Blood? That was in his office. What the? What's the meaning of this? Freeze. Who's this? Oh my god. Oh my god. Identify yourself. Shut up. You've got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. Oh my god. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrust into a multitude of cases and some very frantic and busy days. Alright. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Gumshoe. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... Oh, look what they did to your office. It's totally trashed. I'll say, the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Whoa, sounds like you're getting pretty burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. Oh, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? Crime scene in my office. Is it really coincidence the murder took place in my office? So let's add it to the logic thing on the bottom here. I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office? Eh? What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? By finding the connection between two pieces of information, and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. So how do you use it? First, I recall information through the logic button, and then connect them together. Now to touch the logic button and recall the facts. Alright. On the top left here. Okay. So we got two things here. Crime scene, my office, and the office key. So let's connect those together. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks. Which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? Okay, the killer's goal is added. You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. So we got the same bar on the top left as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir! Alright, begin investigation in room 1202 at the High Prosecutor's offices. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that, and when I want to examine something, I simply touch the examine button. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just touch the partner button, okay? I'll give you great precise evidence as an ace investigator, sir. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Alright, so on the bottom here we have our organizer, which I guess is our court record. Yeah, with our prosecutor's badge. Proof of my profession, however, I prefer to keep it in my pocket. We've got profiles too. So here's the victim, and here's Gumshoe so far. And the partner button if we really need it. Okay, and the logic button as well. Okay, so let's start our investigation. We can freely walk around here, just like we saw in the demo. We've got a gun down here. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. Hold on, guys. I think I've seen one of these before. Care to enlighten me as to where? Hold on. There we go. Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model. I think. Detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. This is the first time that the text box is actually at the top. I don't know if that's a glitch or not. Now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct lock, sir. I don't use mine much except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by this precinct's detectives. Okay, cool. Alright. We've got the body over here. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Alright. So we got like a wallet here. What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police badge, detective. Oh hey, I have the exact same thing actually. What a coinkydink. Let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective just like you. Huh. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Okay. Okay, so we got the killer's goal, victim was a detective, and the revolver. Wait. Well, I guess we can finish investigating the body before we do that. We don't have any other information without just that one piece. Can we show the body? Oh. Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. It looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yep, and until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Alright. Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so. I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to touch the organizer button. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. Alright, there's a whole bunch of stuff knocked down from the shelves. Your file's all over the floor, sir. It probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, now we've got some new stuff in the logic. Oh, and I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, it's just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I wanted the flowers every day just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled. Does he have a life? Alright, let's try piecing together some logic now. I think we pretty much investigate the entire body. Alright. Victim was a detective. And the revolver was the same thing used. So he was a precinct detective, and the revolver was the same model that is used as a precinct detective. So maybe the killer stole the gun from him. Let's try piecing those two together. A lot of this is pretty easy to figure out once you get into it. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives, could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What have we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. This guy's wearing a gun holster. So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Okay. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. As I always say, you've got to look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use the scroll wheels to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use the slide bar or the X and Y arrows to zoom in and out to get at the nitty-gritty. Okay. Okay, we can examine here. To think that it's so easy to take a line for just the pull of a trigger. You know I can't even ever see myself really liking guns. Oh, but I love the ones they use at track and field meets to start races. If you take off before it's fired, everybody always ends up following your lead. To chase you down for a false start, detective. Now that you mention it, even when I finish first, I always wind up in last place. Alright, here's the holster. Looks like only one round was fired from this. Or the cylinder, I should say. Wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wresting the gun from him. Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. Oh. Okay. I guess this is about all we're going to find out. We should send the body to Jim! Oh boy. Why, oh why? How could this ever happen to a guy like you? What? Are you alright? Alright, what voice should I do for him? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be! Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body! Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure, just in a bloodstained suit, pal. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes I am. I'm Jacques Portman. I should do an English or French accent for him. I'm Jacques Portman, prosecutor. Jim here is my partner in crime busting. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I am also a prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office. Yes, that is correct. Oh, that was friggin' Gumshoe. Then it was you. You're the one who killed Jim. Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not. I will know how things work around here. High prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? The only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. So is you then. You're Jim's killer.
No way, pal, you've got it all wrong. Everyone calm down. Mr. Portsman, correct? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions?
Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer there, Mr. Edgeworth. I don't know what voice to do for him. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know. Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now how about a handshake to seal the deal?
A pleasure to work with you.
You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then, it's your room after all.
Thank you, I intend to.
I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there?
Sir?
I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. Oh my god.
I should probably give some space.
Alright. So let's keep walking around here. I'll wait till something I can investigate turns in. Oh yeah, he shot this painting.
Oh, your jacket, sir. What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in? What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here. Oh, like what? I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There was a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him.
Haha, Phoenix Wright.
But I have my own methods and I will conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence, or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction.
Alright, well, there's a giant bullet hole here.
This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should touch the deduce button with conviction.
Bam.
And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things.
Point out the contradiction. So I have the bullet hole, and that's from the revolver.
Eureka! This bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled this frame. Hey, that's right. However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true, too. Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? Huh. Weird. By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Ah, it's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money. I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that. Achoo! Achoo! Talk about dusty. I suppose it's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here. I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. So when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, the prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. That's it? Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams.
Alright. Can you examine it?
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny.
So we've got a keypad here.
Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad, don't you find it to be a bit too clean? Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, the forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. Aha. Okay. As I thought. It appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have.
Alright, so go to our logic. Okay, so we have the killer's goal, signs of a struggle, white fingerprints, and another handgun. Okay, so maybe the killer's goal was to find that safe and try to crack it, and maybe he thought he thought there was money in it. So, killer's goal. Let's show you another handgun. Those two have no connections to each other. The struggle and then the other handgun. And the fingerprints could have been his goal when he was actually there to do the crime. So let's connect him. I like this new feature.
I believe I have figured out what the murderer was after.
Well, what is it, sir?
The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. Alright. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime.
Okay. So those zones are gone. So we have another handgun, signs of a struggle, and motive theft. The culprit tried to open my safe. Was the killer's motive theft? Signs of a struggle. My facts are mispointing to a struggle between the victim and the killer. That could have something to do with it. So I'm going to say the theft and the struggle. Let's try those two. There we go.
There was a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer.
Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir?
Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen.
Yes, sir. I'm going to shelve files like you've never seen before, even at a library.
Sure. Let's give that a try. Alright.
Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. You know, I'm just going to do a Gavin's voice. Why not?
No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And so what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place.
You got it. Here, let me help.
So this file goes here and that book goes there.
You should know a lot about where things go despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done.
Whoa. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here.
Oh, the bloodstains on the bookshelf are so fresh.
I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the points on the shelf.
And then the guy fell to the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out.
Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now.
Oh, but you know I'm no good with blood, sir.
I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture.
Alright, what's going on here? Oh yeah, this was from the demo too. There was a bullet hole.
So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh?
For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file's spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred.
And I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way.
So can we deduce that?
Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold?
So we have, okay, nice badge. Claims, you know, bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen, so those two connect together.
Eureka! There's clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole.
What do you mean, sir?
You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up.
What if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir?
That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot.
Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir?
It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption, and it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused the problem with the bullet hole's position?
The position of the body, the position of the handprints, and the order of the files. Faulty assumption that caused the problem with the bullet hole's position. Well, the bullet hole's position is kind of just right in between those files, so the files could have been like out of order when they were all mumbled and jumbled into that pile where the blood was. So let's go with the order.
I believe the order of the files is a bit off.
You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir.
Oh?
Yeah, you see here how the files that were shot begin with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird.
Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They are exactly as I see them in my mind's eye.
But the numbers are all out of order.
Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha! So that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out.
Do you think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved? They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. Yeah, that makes sense now. Because that was right in his abdomen, like right down here, and the bullet hole was right there, and he was probably standing. And he was standing up when he was shot. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith, and then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly, and then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime, but why? Alright. Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look.
Well, there's letters right here, where the body was.
This. What is that? Why does it say Gumshoe on there in blood?
Uh-oh, what? Oh, wow, it does. You have to turn your head upside down. I'd say it's some incredibly incriminating evidence.
Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed. No, wait, there's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, say something, sir. It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after?
What was in that file? Hey, there we go. Investigation complete. We did it. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And it's supposed to, I don't know what voice to do for him. Alright, I'm just gonna do kind of he looks kind of like you would do like a regular dude voice, so, I don't know. And this most important message managed to reach us.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me!
You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party.
If you aren't going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up.
Jim's words, they're more than enough, would you say?
If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning.
You got it.
I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude, and there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you going to do?
So yeah, it looks like we're not actually going to be going in court. We're just doing we're just solving crimes by just doing investigating from what I saw in the trailer, so that's really cool.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you going to do? What I always do in court, I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Ooh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir?
Might as well, and maybe some other time. Let's do might as well.
Alright, first I listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open the organizer and present the piece of contradictory evidence. To present something, I simply touch the present button, but that's old news. It's not like there's going to be a flaw in their testimony every time, right? Correct, and at those times I need to press the witness by touching the press button. Sometimes by pressing I can draw out new information, and new or modified testimony. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations, too. Very well, I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully.
Alright. So they're not called testimonies, they're called arguments. Alright. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice.
You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer.
I can hear Jim's voice and he's calling for his killer's arrest.
Are you sure you're not mishearing these words, Mr. Portsman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence.
Alright, rebuttal. So they're not called cross-examinations, they're called rebuttals. Mr. Portsman's logic. Okay. Hold it!
You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask.
What is it?
Why do you call the victim Jim, when clearly his name is Buddy Faith?
Isn't it obvious? Jim is the perfect name for my companion. Jacques and Jim, don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jam?
But Jim isn't even close to that guy's real name.
Well, Jacques and Buddy just sounds off somehow. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys that decided to nickname Jim.
He talks about the victim like he was his pet.
Yeah, that is weird. Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Why is this not working? Hold it! There we go. God.
Do you really think it was necessary to disable my shelves twice to do that?
That's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft.
Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth?
That's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle.
I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but...
Poor thing, what an evil prosecutor you were paired up with. And what a motive, no? Hold it! Hold it!
Yeah, that seems to be harder. I guess I'll just press the press button. Why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing?
Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. Wait a second. That's what the file... One of the files that was written upon in blood was stolen by the culprit. We didn't notice the bloody letters. Yes, we did notice it. What an idiot. Objection!
Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic.
Heh, bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game.
I can't help but find it odd.
Excuse me?
Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office.
I like this music. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking, I get it. Ha ha ha.
If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file?
What? That's impossible.
What's impossible, Mr. Portsman?
Nothing.
The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spine.
It's possible that they could have taken the files before committing the murder.
I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's name where the file should be as proof.
Yeah, I mean the S is gone and there's only half an H.
If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood.
Which means what exactly? What does that make this dying message?
It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene.
That's so low, I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see, I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time.
Well, Mr. Portsman?
Ha ha ha. Brilliant, absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold.
I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed.
Meh, you win some and you lose some, that's how life goes.
Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive.
But you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however.
What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal?
Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office?
That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal.
That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence.
Then why do I sense that you still have something to say?
Kinda hate this guy. Well, I was thinking, did you know there is one other person with a key to this office?
One other person?
Hey, you there.
Yes, sir. What is it, sir?
Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me?
A lady?
The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness.
Security? The security? Did you say security? Don't stop it, pal. Don't.
What's wrong with him all of a sudden?
Who's this? I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird. Oh my god! You guys remember her? A member of security. Whoa, she looks different. Detective Gumshoe, sir.
Maggie.
Yeah, those two had a connection. Miss Bird is a security guard on watch tonight.
I see, and your point is?
My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building.
What?
If you are not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird.
How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room.
That's right, I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right, I did it.
Can we take that as a confession, detective?
Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. It was. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right?
Please refrain from flying off the handle, detective. There's no need for such theatrics.
Listen to your boss, detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. Alright. Reason for suspicion. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, and that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all that more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message.
So you're saying she used the master key? Okay.
Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say?
That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well.
That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me.
I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to suppress him.
Okay. Rebuttal.
Hold it! Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key?
There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird?
That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir.
Wasn't able to? What was that supposed to mean?
Yes, moving on. I hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated.
What do you mean unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal.
But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time.
Should I hear Miss Bird out?
Yes, I think we should.
Not so fast. I too am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say.
Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies.
I'll be the judge of that, Miss Bird, if you please.
I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m., sir.
What do you mean by missing?
As in it wasn't anywhere in the security's booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it.
Mr. Portsman, I believe this is to be an important piece of testimony, don't you?
I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words.
I'm not lying, sir.
If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now.
I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir.
A likely story. And where did you prove that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again.
I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it.
Yeah, pal, trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is.
Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive.
Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth.
But you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe.
It is as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own.
Alright, from the messed up shelves to wipe down at safe thievery. Well, the safe, each part only they know of them, the prints were wiped. So how does he know that the safe was able to actually open up, and that was actually why they went into the thief? Why they actually did the crime itself?
Objection! Do you wish to continue to insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something?
Why not? It's the truth after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway.
That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe.
Yeah, how did he know he was there? Because the shooter who could have shot it, the shooter who shot it actually pulled out the safe, which when the painting fell down, the safe was revealed.
The existence of which is only private to prosecutors. I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was but part of her cunning plan.
But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down.
I only doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted.
Yeah,
even I didn't know about that safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either.
Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor?
Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking for more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now?
Aye. Curses, why? What made you?
What's with the angry face all of a sudden?
It's all my fault.
What do you mean?
It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safes.
What did you just say?
We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes.
And that means...
Yeah, I know. I had only just told him too. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it. But the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim.
Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief?
And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird.
Excuse me?
I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession.
What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder?
Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it?
No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir.
Plus, even if he was the thief, you wouldn't have a key to his office.
Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key.
Ah!
Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him.
Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief?
I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense.
Has he no honor?
Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out?
You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Ah, but I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You are all suspects to varying degrees and therefore ineligible to run this show.
Listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit.
Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. He's pointing at him.
But, sir,
we have no choice but to accommodate his request, for now.
Haha. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful.
Mark my words, Mr. Portsman, we will meet again.
If that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now don't disappoint me, you hear? Holy crap! That was awesome. I really like this. I really like this game so far. I love that it's like pretty much all investigating. We get more into investigating, even though, you know, it sometimes ends up to be a long investigation, and I hope it's not like that in this game, but we'll go ahead and save right here. Okay. So tomorrow we will continue on. Go ahead and save right here. Alright, so that was it for the first part of our Let's Play of a Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney investigation on the Nintendo DS. Hope you guys enjoyed today's part, and I will see you guys tomorrow for part number 2. So, thanks everybody for watching, and as always, I will see you guys in my next video, coming soon. Objection!